Welcome everyone to Tokyo DisneySea and the entrance for Fantasy Springs, the new for 2024 immersive land home to several new attractions. There's 3 dark rides and like a flat ride.
Yeah.
And what we're gonna do in this video is give you our first time reactions to all the attractions. We're gonna show you the queues, the on-ride experience, so spoilers ahead, and we'll give you our thoughts on all of it.
I'm already emotional just from this like entrance area. Like the scale is just so grand, and it's so colorful and beautiful, and just everything that Disney does the best.
It's insane. This whole park is just elaborately themed, and this even just is going to step it up a notch. They've been working on this for several years. It's located in the back of the park behind the Arabian Coast section. I think it replaced like an old parking lot, and it's funny because like some of the rides even like bump up against some of the attractions in Tokyo Disneyland. So like they really like, you know, smush this land in, but just it looks insane. All the promos we've been watching. This is a highly anticipated stop for us on our coasting through Asia trip. We're gonna have a full Tokyo DisneySea vlog coming out after we finish coasting through Europe, but we wanted to do a separate video about DisneySea first because this land is something special.
Walking up to this, the first thought I had was this is the Imagineering that I remembered as a kid. This is the type of detail and feelings that I got as a kid that just immersed me into the magic.
And this right here is the line to get into Fantasy Springs because you cannot just walk into the land. You need a separate priority pass.
So the way that we're getting in is because we stayed on site with a vacation package. So I think if you stay at Fantasy Springs without a vacation package, as long as you're just staying there, you get access. But for any of the other hotels, you can't just be a regular guest. Like you have to have the full package. So that's what we did. So it's a bit more expensive than doing like the a la carte, like room, park ticket, whatever. But the peace of mind is worth it because the other ways to do it involve like kind of think Disney virtual queue system, and that's not always going to work. And God forbid we came here and we didn't get to do Fantasy Springs, it would be a nightmare. And the other thing that's great about this is that we don't have to wait in any lines. This is all premier access for the whole time, the whole day, in and out as much as we want. Whereas for the people who get like the standby pass or anything, like they have to stay. If they exit, they're done for the day. So this is the way to go for sure.
So now we are good to go. We can come in and out of the land as we please, and I believe we also just have to show this to skip the lines.
Oh, this is so magical already.
It literally feels like an entirely separate park. I mean, I know it's like a separate land, but just having to go through all of that and just you can't even see like anything else. It's crazy.
You can't even really see any of the other rides here, like, because there's like 3 mini lands essentially. The only thing you can really see is the Fantasy Springs Hotel. So we're outside of Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, and that is going to be stop number 1 here in Fantasy Springs. Really, it's the first ride you get to.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's only like a 15-minute standby wait, but again, we're going to have to wait in it.
Yeah, so I believe this ride is somewhat like Spider-Man, like similar ride system.
Yeah, at Islands of Adventure, not Web Slingers.
Oh, yeah, no, not that one. I wouldn't be nearly as excited. No, this one I'm very excited for because I love Spider-Man. I love Peter Pan. And I've seen little bits of the animation. It looks so cute. I'm very, very excited to check this out.
Yeah, it is also kind of crazy that they went with a ride like this because there is the classic Peter Pan ride at Tokyo Disneyland.
Yes, but Peter Pan is so awesome and there's so much you can do with it that I'm glad that it's getting like something a little more modern.
And this is what our tickets look like. They are the classic paper tickets. Thank you. We are in. It's like a whole forest in here. There's trees everywhere, lanterns.
It's not just a forest, this is Neverland, okay guys?
And you want to know what this reminds me of? The queue for Flying Aces.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah, right? And when I say we're walking onto this, I'm pretty sure this is the entrance to the pre-show. Like, we just walked straight in here, bypassed everyone else.
This is it. And we'll be able to do this all day as many times as we want.
That's amazing.
I cannot stress enough that like I've heard horror stories from people. I am not the type of person who loves Disney that'll just say everything they do is like amazing, because I know how horribly stressful coming to this land specifically has been for a lot of people who do not have this.
I gotta shout out this absolute queen for figuring all this out before we came here, because everything's been so painless. So Sarah,
yes.
You are.
Thank you
the
for
best.
helping to
And
figure
very
this out
sweaty.
for
I'm
us.
sorry for
we're
that.
all
Oh, it's
sweaty.
very hot out. All right, let's go into the ride. The AC in here feels amazing. Whoa. Oh, this is cool.
誘拐された。それは大変だ。みんな起きるんだ。
どうしたのピーター。
ジョン・ガーリングがフック船長に誘拐されたんだ。
大変だ。
ジョンを助けに行こう。行け。
はい。
And here's our vehicles. These things are huge. Yeah, it looks a lot like the Spider-Man setup. Wow, they come through with the doors open. That's kind of cool. And the doors also open from the side, not from the top, like Spider-Man.
Miんな揃ったね。じゃあ空を飛んでいくよ。ピンク、あっちのボートも頼んだぞ。
Whoa!
ベンディがいる。行こう。みんな静かに。
Well, that's cool.
マイケルだ。
Oh. Yeah, the screen quality is amazing. Our first ride there on Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. First of all, a really long ride and so well done in terms of story.
Yeah, so it's a nice blend of screens and practical sets. I mean, the ride is a screen-based ride, but the way that the screens interact with the practical effects don't make it feel as much like a screen-based ride.
It was a very cohesive ride. It wasn't just problem, like solution, get off. It was like a beginning, middle, second middle, and then end. It was a really good story. Really
Yeah,
well done.
you see from some of the on-ride footage there that they defeat Captain Hook, and I was like, all right, that's the end of the ride. And then they like drop off the kids. I'm like, all right, that's the end of the ride. Then it's like, no, we're going back to the Lost Boys. So
But
you're
it-
like going back where you started.
But it does not feel too long. They do it in such a way where it's just okay. This is good.
The 3D is also very state-of-the-art. Like, it's so crystal clear. I know Tyler had a little whoopsie on his first ride where he only had one of the lenses in, so he's like, I don't know what you guys were talking about. That wasn't really clear. And then he looked, he's like, oh. So we actually got the ride twice, which is really cool. But I like think about like Flight of Passage, which is still one of my favorite rides in the entire world, but that 3D can get very blurry on the sides and everything. But this is like, no matter where you look, it is like crystal clear. And the animation style is very, very cute.
Yeah, so how was ride number 1 versus ride number 2?
Ride number 2 was a little bit better, a little more clear.
Really? You don't say.
I've said it before. Spider-Man is the best dark ride system out there. I don't think anything really beats it. Just make sure when you ride it, you have both lenses, and you'll have a great time.
Here's another level of detail that you don't get on a lot of other dark rides. They blended the edge of the screen with the ceiling. So it's like a general fade, as
Yeah,
opposed
I
to just
did
having the
notice
harsh
that,
edge
yeah.
of the screen. Like that's something so subtle. Didn't need to do it all. No other dark ride does that, but they're like, no, we want to like make it feel like it's not a screen. It's just like part of the environment.
It's a nice gradient. Yeah, it's not just a hard end. It's hard to see where the screen ends and like the wall begins. I did notice that. I thought it was a really nice little touch.
Yeah, just details, details, details. Amazing. And what's crazy is I've heard that's not even the best ride in this land.
What?
So we gotta
I know
keep going.
nothing.
We gotta
Let's
do
keep
more.
going.
They have a quick service location here called Lookout Cookout, which apparently is a chicken place. Holy crap. This is right across from Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. Wow.
This reminds me of Disneyland Paris.
Yes,
Like, with
this
the-
does. This effect
This
right here.
whole area right here, very Disneyland Paris, and I love it. I love that they took that concept and made it way bigger.
Holy shit.
I think the Lost Boys have been here. There's tiny little footprints in the pavement. Not the random hopscotch in the middle of Neverland, all right. It's kind of hard to do with the camera. What?
What?
That was so over the top.
Oh, I'm an over the top guy.
Wow. Welcome to our first of 2 Frozen lands on this trip. Later on, we're going to Hong Kong Disney, and they just opened up the world of Frozen. This, of course, is a mini land inside Fantasy Springs.
Mini. Yeah, real mini.
It's still, oh yeah, it's still big, but
This is bigger than the Frozen area at Epcot.
yeah, now there's only 1 ride in this section. Again, there's 4 rides in Fantasy Springs, but this has what could be the best ride in the land. This is not the same Frozen as the one that we have at Epcot. It's a whole different thing.
I like the one at Epcot, I do, but I imagine after riding this, I'm just gonna be like, next time I ride it.
Oh, I'm already like that with that version. The projected face thing doesn't do it for me. This puts the Stave Church at Epcot to shame. This is beautiful, and this is a restaurant. This is the Royal Banquet. Wow. What a building. This is stunning.
This looks like it's probably the main dining room, and it is unbelievably beautiful. Like, I don't even want the food here. Like, it looks fine, but I probably will choose to eat the other place. But I'm just happy to be in here looking around because, oh my God.
There's a line of people here to sit on Elsa's throne that they have right here in the main dining hall. Wow, what a great photo op, just like in the middle of a restaurant.
It just keeps going. There are a lot of rooms here. And even more. Oh my gosh.
Here's the entrance to Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey. Standard wait time, 40 minutes. Wait time for us, none. You can really see the Norway inspiration here. Wow. There's the main standby line for Frozen. Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey is by far the best like boat themed dark ride I've ever done.
Yeah, so first of all, it's like the entire story, like from when they are like little children to after the end of the movie. Like it does the whole thing.
Yeah, like remember when our motion gate video when we were talking about how like we loved the Shrek dark ride because it hits every beat of the story that even if you didn't know the movie, you could still see it. That's how this is too.
Yes, so it's very long and every scene is like 10 out of 10. Like they didn't leave any space untouched. And it's another ride that just makes you feel something. There are emotions that just come out when you are placed so immersively into a story that has, you know, like for some people it's very nostalgic. For some people, they connect with the story in some way, and it's just you are absolutely a part of it. And it is state-of-the-art animatronics, state-of-the-art theming. Like every effect, everything is just perfection. And that one part is very crazy. I don't understand quite how that works.
Yeah. The animatronic is frozen and then she like thaws out in front of you. That was wildly impressive. Multiple backwards sections. I had chills. I like going through every single set piece, like the ambient lighting, the architecture. They nailed it. I cannot look at the ride at Epcot the same ever again.
No.
Like the middle of this ride is the beginning of the ride at Epcot. You could definitely see the resemblance in a couple scenes, like literally when you roll up to Elsa and she's singing like Let It Go and then you go backwards. Like
Yeah.
they definitely, played up a couple of the effects, but they just dialed up to 11.
Yeah, so I know we're kind of like taking a poop on the Epcot version, but that is a reskinned dark ride. Like that is not from scratch like this one. So I will give it some grace. It is only, they had X amount of space to work with because it used to be a maelstrom. This was like a blank canvas. So give them a little bit of credit.
Yeah, no, it shows just what you can do when you are just like, let's just take this movie, how can we translate this into a ride and not cut any corners?
Correct.
I cannot, like, my God, I cannot believe how immersive and long and like complete of a story that is. And we said it with Peter Pan, like how it told a complete story, and Beauty with the Beast yesterday, but the attention to detail they have in these dark rides here, man, is just next level.
So that is the second ride of this trip that has made me cry after Beauty and the Beast. See, Frozen, it kind of brought me back. I was a big 90s kid. Didn't really watch Disney movies in the 2000s. Frozen is the one that like made me feel that nostalgia again. And it actually inspired me to take a trip to Norway. That's how much I love this movie. And that was just such an insane, beautiful, magical representation of that movie. It made you feel everything.
I don't know what else to add besides the fact that like it also made me cry, and I normally don't cry at parks. So
No, that's a big deal then.
It's a big deal. It's a huge deal. So wonderful. Insane.
You purely love Disney, and I've just grown up with that. That's everything you want in a dark ride.
On the other side of Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, we have all these facades for different buildings here in Arendelle. And they're all so detailed. They're all meant to be like different shops, different locations. I don't think you can go in any of them, but you can like peek in the windowsill, take photos with the doorways. They do have a set of restrooms over here. Here you can see a little Kristoff, some of the trolls. This is wonderful.
This little billboard is so cute. So this is obviously post Elsa opening up the gates, and you're allowed to come and visit for a banquet, which is so cool. And then you have a little thing that says friend sitter needed for Sven to be babysat while Kristoff is away. It is so cute. They even disguise the cast member only areas by saying things like ice deliveries only. I love this.
So when Anna's singing about open up the gates, this is what she's referring to. This is the bridge that leads into Arendelle. They recreated it. Incredible.
It literally matches the movie. It feels like you are in Arendelle.
We are in Arendelle. What do you mean it feels like we're in Arendelle?
You're right, yeah, sorry. It's just...
Get it together, man.
I'm just speechless.
Oaken's OK Foods. That's awesome. The menu here is a little limited. They have Yoo-hoo bread, that's like the big signature item, but they also have alcoholic beverages and a frozen dessert. The third themed land is Tangled, and here is her tower. And it is just magnificent.
Her name is Rapunzel, not Tangled.
Yeah, but that's the movie. An actual Rapunzel animatronic up at the top of the tower.
Yeah, well, because this is part of the boat ride. This is like where it first starts. So like it's for the riders and for us. So it's perfect.
That is an incredible visual.
Rapunzel finally getting the respect she deserves at a Disney park. Because the bathrooms are nice at Magic Kingdom.
The bathroom ain't it. This is what it could be, and that's sad.
She kind of gets crapped on at Magic Kingdom, doesn't she?
And here we are, seated in the front row. This one has no restraints.
I'm so excited. But I've only seen a little bit of this ride and it's just like dazzling.
Should I do it?
I got very emotional in that room with all the pretty lights. My God.
As you're exiting the ride, you can see horseshoes in the pavement. They all say Maximus on it, so he's been walking this way. So I first ride there on Rapunzel. Very beautiful, some really nice scenery, good animatronics.
It's so beautiful. Oh my God, that lantern scene at the end. Like, I could have stayed in there forever. Like, just,
Yeah, it's a stunning scene. That's definitely the reason why you ride this. The ride ended after that, and I was kind of surprised.
It was short, yeah.
Every other ride is either really long or just feels very complete. And like, even though that the others are like excessively long, this one felt like short. Not just like short compared to those, but like actually short.
Here's my guess, is they probably had limited space to work with, and the options were either have like a walk-through room where you can see all the lanterns inside, or do a small-scale dark ride. And I am happy that they chose to do the small-scale dark ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, they easily could have just been like, okay, we'll just make a room with lanterns for people to go in. That
Yeah.
was better.
No, I understand that. I would definitely say this ride felt a little like an afterthought in regards to everything else in the land. Like,
But
I would
given
say,
if they didn't have a lot of space, then I feel like, given the space that they had, I think it's actually
yeah.
pretty great.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just like, of Fantasy Springs, it seems like Frozen has been by far given the most space, the most room to work with, and you kind of run free, do whatever you want. And then Peter Pan, that's a pretty sizable section, and then it's just like a little area for Tangled, and she has like a short little ride. So like, I enjoy it, but like if the wait time was really long, then I personally wouldn't wait for it again. But I mean, like, luckily we're able to just walk right onto it, so I don't mind doing it again. But I am definitely more inclined to do some of the other attractions instead.
I think like that was absolutely beautiful. I wanted more scenes though. Like there was no Mother Gothel, there was no Vikings in the tavern scene. But I mean, I get that clearly the theme was just about the love story and the lanterns. I think you ride that just for like that one scene. I do think that's like the most beautiful scene of the 3 rides, but it's like you have all that emotion in you, and then it's like, oh, you're done. Like, there's no time to decompress.
They did build the Snuggly Duckling restaurant. Look at this. So like burgers and fries, cheeseburger, fried shrimp burger.
Yeah, ooh, milk tea. Wait, can I get that with our drink pass?
I bet you probably could, yeah.
I want that.
What'd you point at?
I don't know.
Here is our interior of the Snuggly Duckling. The details in this restaurant are incredible. Like every nook and cranny, there's something else to look at. Like the longer you stay there, the more you notice. Put this in any other theme park and this would be like the best themed restaurant there. But here, it's surrounded by all these other incredible theme parks that it gets overlooked, right? But this place is really cool. We haven't even eaten yet. This is my favorite detail here. Looks like someone was here. Oh man.
So this is Rapunzel's magic milk tea, and we were told to mix it. It kind of tasted like raspberries at first, and then we had to mix it with the cream. I think it'll be like some raspberry cream nonsense.
Ooh, you're gonna have to give me a sip after that. I just got a Coca-Cola.
It's delicious. This is so good. I've had lots of milk tea before, but this is like a little different, but in a good way. I like it.
That's just a water dispenser.
Yeah, because I know how hot it is.
It's a duck barrel. No way do they have the piano. Look at that. What's that say? Hooks and hands off my piano. That is fantastic. So here's what our burger looks like at the Snuggly Duckling restaurant. Got some fries with it. Again, fairly basic food, but it's a very unique flavor. So
Yeah, I agree. Very unique flavor.
yeah, I dig it. Not your standard theme park burger.
Yeah.
So at this point, we've seen almost all of Fantasy Springs, but there's one more section we gotta check out, and that is the area over by the Fantasy Springs Hotel, which is in the back of the land for the average guest, and that's where you have a ton of amazing rock waterfalls with these crazy character formations in them. Let's go see what they got. The setup around here with all these fountains is unreal. Every inch is detailed and it is so incredible. It's not just one rock sculpture, it's all of them. And in a lot of ways, this feels like the entryway to the land, which I guess technically if you're coming through the hotel, this is the entryway, but for most of the park guests, this is actually the back of the land. So like you have to leave the other attractions and keep going up towards the hotel. So I actually wonder how many park guests will completely miss this area. And I sure hope they don't, because this is 100% worth seeing. One detail I noticed is that obviously you have the brooms here, but they get progressively more faded as they go along. So the ones here on the far end are more pronounced. So again, just leaning into that, these are like carved from rock. And that is just unbelievable.
This one one I find particularly enchanting, the way that Sleeping Beauty's dress is worked into the rock wall, and it just looks like fabric still. Absolutely beautiful. If you look close, you can see the magic mirror on the wall. That is awesome.
So not only did they carve Maleficent's head out of rock and she's breathing smoke, but they even did her wings. It looks like she's like in her own little crevice, and that is just unreal. This one's a favorite of mine. Ariel and all the different colors on the rocks. Like, it actually looks like her tail. The different shades of blue and green and stuff. Just stunning. This one's Alice in Wonderland. He has fog coming out of his mouth, like he's smoking. And directly underneath the hotel is a separate entryway into the park via Fantasy Springs. There's a train station just on the other side of there, so if you're staying at the hotel, you could arrive by the monorail and then get your room that way and then enter the park through here. And that entryway is not accessible if you are staying at a different hotel on property. At the base of the hotel, look, it's Ariel. They have some characters out walking around.
Look, there she goes. That girl is so peculiar. I wonder if she's feeling well. Naturally, the next stop is checking out the gift shop.
You know, we've gone through a lot of gift shops while we're here at Disney, and this is by far the busiest. There are so many people in the Fantasy Springs gift shop. But it's a beautiful gift shop, yeah. I mean, it's just as immersive as the rest of the land.
This whole land really just does feel like a love letter to just Disney heroes. It's pretty fantastic, and if you're like a big Disney lover, this is seriously a dream.
This is pretty much the one and only shirt that they're selling for Fantasy Springs, and I like that you have each of the attractions represented, but it is a little bit of an odd design for a shirt. Personally, I would have put it on something like a poster instead, but that's okay. So there is your look at Fantasy Springs during the day.
Yeah, we don't know what it looks like at night. I have no idea. I have not seen anything. I can assume that it's going to be very impressive, though. So I'm very excited to see what they've cooked up here.
Yeah, so we're going to go do some other attractions outside of Fantasy Springs, but let's cut to a couple hours from now when it's completely dark out. Some beautiful shots there from Fantasy Springs at night. It is just so pretty. Like, although the lighting is very subtle, but it just works.
I don't know if I would describe the lighting as subtle.
I mean, like, just putting some lights in the plants and everything.
Yes,
like a lot of the lamp posts, you know.
Is subtle, but it is everywhere. It's very like Pandora-esque, where most things are illuminated. All the plants have lights, like the buildings are lit up, like everything is just very lively here.
It's natural. I think that's the word I was trying to use. Yeah, I love this. And, we were able to experience some of the other attractions. So now at this point, we've done each of them multiple times. Tangled is, of course, the only one that is like actually different at night because it has the outdoor portion. So that was pretty cool. Overall, I'm just so impressed with Fantasy Springs. It has just exceeded expectations.
Oh yeah. No, I'm like totally in love with this area of the park. Especially if they keep expanding on it, it could be like its own park.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, they spared no expense, and we looked it up, $2.3 billion.
Yeah, that is wild. That is insane. Like, think about that. Like, Galaxy's Edge was about $1 million.
No, $1 billion.
Or $1 billion.
If it was $1 million, that's a great deal.
I mean, I'd buy one at that point. No, just kidding. I wish. But yeah, no, like, so this is double the cost of Galaxy's Edge and then some, so.
Yeah, it is unreal. Oriental Land Company, Disney, you guys knocked this out of the park.
To say the least. Yeah, no, this, to me, as like a lifelong Disney fan, like, this is extremely satisfying. It strikes all the right chords. It's got all the newness of it, but it also has some old characters like Peter Pan, and it seems like maybe in the future we'll have Pocahontas, I don't know. But it to me, it's like a love letter to Disney fans.
I 100% agree with that. I think this is right up there as one of the single best theme park lands ever created. Put that up there with Pandora, Galaxy's Edge, Rookburg.
Yeah.
So, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to stay tuned for tons more Asia videos. We're filming these all throughout Japan, Taiwan. We're gonna go to Hong Kong Disney. We'll be able to experience the world of Frozen there. That will be pretty cool. Lots of good stuff to come. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.